Hi, I'm Ariel Italic.
I'm your health goth fantasy come true.
I'm sitting on Lady Berica Andrews.
That's Katrina Lovelace. We are doing a special bonus episode of Nobodies Watching Wrestling. We watched Tessa Blanchard versus Sami Callihan, and it was a lot.
Could you imagine if there was a wrestler named Tammy? Tammy's looking real angry.
I weirdly can. I can't imagine Tammy Blanchard though. She's great. Go watch Rabbit Hole. She's amazing in it, but she shouldn't wrestle. Tammy, save it. Tessa Blanchard came out in a gold everything.
Oh my god, I loved it. Even the gold bat.
Oh, she sold that runway walk, that high hair. Just the fierceness of it.
It was very Jersey, with like the T's, like bump it.
Yeah, but like a bump it mohawk sort of.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. And she, like the gold vest on top of the gold, everything. It was just so good. She looked amazing. But not like, it was like feminine in the right way where she still looked tough too.
Yeah. I think this is the first match where I've truly understood Tessa Blanchard. Like, I get what she because I've seen her wrestle before, and I've seen her sold as like the tough lady before, but this is the first time where I really felt it. Like, she gave that tough girl realness. I just like felt the strength in her in every goddamn moment of this.
She's definitely that one girl you knew that was like raised with 7 brothers and had to fend for herself. It was very much that. I loved it.
She could really throw a punch,
Oh,
huh?
yeah.
Her forearms to Sammy's neck that were just over and over and over. I was like, she's going to murder him.
Yeah. I mean, we should talk about Sami. He also has like a tough asshole gimmick, and he sells that fine.
Fully dirtbag.
Yeah.
The goatee is vile in the exact right way.
Yes. Yes. Definitely very convincing that he's a douche.
Yeah, and also like a lot of wrestlers are wet, but he is very specifically greasy.
Crisco.
Like, it's a different kind of like sheen. It was a good detail work on that one.
He's just really the audience really was behind Tessa too.
Oh, how could you
yeah.
not be?
It was similar to like the Sunny thing where it was just like part of me was like, oh, some assholes are going to be cheering for Sami, but literally no one was.
Just boos across the board, which he earned. Like, he's doing his job
Totally.
by being the worst, just the worst. You couldn't hate him more. And
But it was a very good match also. I was very entertained. The outside fighting, the inside fighting, just, whew, it was a lot.
So it starts with Tessa like pummeling him with forearms, and then he gets her onto the outside and just smacks her head against the railing.
yeah, back and forth.
And honestly, like, that's like a spot you see all the time, but for some reason there was a weird intensity about it where I was like, oh my god, is her head okay?
Yeah,
Like, that
he swung her like a chandelier on those fucking barricades.
And
It
she was
intense.
really screaming.
Oh yeah, very much like telenovela, like very like, oh my god, I'm in pain. She was selling it, but also she was probably in pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of both. Like, she was working through some bruises, but also like gave you that real trauma in the face.
You said you were sort of surprised to see an intergender match.
I was. I mean, the only intergender matches that I've ever watched is China versus anyone. And what was her name? Jacqueline?
Yeah.
She fought Eddie Guerrero. She fought Shawn Michaels down in SmackDown. So those were really the only ones. But that was because they were very brolic, very tough women. And I saw Tessa Blanchard and I was like, okay, she's very like feminine, but still very tough. I was very impressed. It was a really good match.
Yeah, there was just so much going on. They kept the pace up. They kept the intensity up. He didn't hold back at all. Like,
oh no, he was like, I don't care if you're a girl. I'm beating the shit out of you.
yeah, and I understand that that's like an uncomfortable thing in intergender wrestling.
Were you uncomfortable?
I mean,
I wasn't.
I wasn't.
Surprisingly, I was not. Because the way that the match went, it kind of was up in the air as to who was going to win.
There was never a moment where you thought like, oh no, she's like in danger of being hurt in a non-consensual way.
Yeah, I mean, and I liked, for instance, that he's apparently known for bringing a bat into the ring, and she very clearly brought in and used her own bat. Like, she's not holding back either, and you could tell she felt confident. She's like, I am equal to this person. I believe that I could take him and kill him.
And she could.
Yeah.
And it really did the whole time seem like a toss-up. There was no moment where I was like, sure, either would win until the end when it was over.
Yeah.
It's also Sami, like, he sold it, but he didn't oversell it. Because he could have easily just grabbed her on the top ropes, thrown her out of the ring and everything. But he kind of was like, okay, I know my limits, and let's do this. And let's have a fun match, at least.
They worked really well together. Like, I have to say, they get credit for both of them having character, having good moves, having a good chemistry between the two of them. Like, it was two people who do their jobs well and kept me entertained.
It's also crazy that this was the main event of this. Like, this is Impact's biggest pay-per-view of the year, and the intergender match was like almost more hype than the title match. So it's like there's so much about how people don't want this, but people want it. And I think it's like such a shame that people have such like closed minds around this kind of
But
stuff.
it's also like an intergender match in wrestling is okay, but like out in the real world it's so out of like, it's not gonna happen. You don't really see it on an everyday basis. So that's why I guess people were very intrigued.
Sure.
In a sense, they were kind of like, it piqued their interest.
Yeah.
But it's funny too because it's like on like now that I've been going to so much more live events than I've ever gone to, intergender matches on live events are like not that rare.
Okay.
It's like on television, it's like some kind of like weird sacred thing where like everyone's suddenly very conservative about it. But like, look, it worked fine.
It did. I mean, we should talk about the end.
Yeah.
Because Tessa Blanchard loses, which is tough to watch because we're obviously all behind her. Like,
but that's the sign of good art, that you care and we're disappointed and you wanted her to win. And it's like, of course, you know, it would be easy to write a sort of like pandering feminist storyline where she like emerges victorious and like hooray women, and like sure we need those too, but like it also sort of makes her more equal that she lost with grace.
Yeah, that's true. And she took a punch.
For real.
She took a punch. She took a beating. But it was also a little bit pandering because the announcers the whole entire time was like, well, we get our Cinderella fantasy finale. Oh, we didn't get our Cinderella finish. It was like, was that necessary? Like, I don't think that was really
true.
We don't have to make that narrative.
True.
And I did like at the end, he approaches her with his bat and her bat, and it very much looks like he's going to attack her with two bats, which would have been too much. Please.
That's where I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what's going to go on? So when the announcers were like, we need security, I was like, oh, okay, something's going to happen.
That part really got me. But then he just gives her back her golden bat, and it's like a mark of respect, which I thought was like, I mean, I don't know his character that much, but it seemed like a point of character development that he recognized that she was a worthy contender, that she held her own, and like it gave her a way to come out of the match with the kind of like, that dignity is the wrong word, but you know, like it honored the good job that she did. It didn't just make her like the loser.
Right. I agree.
It was very much like, although you're a woman, you can hold your own. So like,
which is what the whole feud was about. So weirdly, she kind of won.
Exactly, because like Sami's like, I see you as an equal. I felt like that's what it was about the giving the bat. Like, I see you as an equal. Like, okay, you gave me a run for my money.
It was a satisfying storytelling moment. So good job, Impact.
Very impressive. I want more.
Yes.
I hope that they use Tessa in the men's division more because she obviously can do it.
Oh, she was great. I would watch her do just about anything, it turns out. All right. I think that about covers it for this match. I'd like to point out that we are not sponsored by White Claw.
But we could be.
Katrina, tell us where we can find you on social media.
You can find me at Katrina Lovelace on Instagram, Facebook, Farmers Only, J-Day, not Craigslist or Backpage anymore. They shut that down.
Oh, sad times. It's hard out there for a pimp.
For a hoe.
That too. I'm at Ariel Italic at all the places.
I'm gonna drink more White Claw.
Go White Claw.
You drink some White Claw too. Thanks for watching. Bye. Mwah.